Hey everybody, it's Missy. Thanks for joining me again today. I'm back with a new layout for the Hip Kit Club, and I'm using the 2017 May Hip Kits again. And this paper from Pink Fresh Studio jumped out at me, and I'm going to start with this one. I really like all those big words, and I love how the colors match perfectly with these really pretty florals in this Chamel paper. So I'm going to start by fussy cutting. I do a lot of fussy cutting for this page. And I'm going to cut out this always choose kindness piece. And I'm going to basically, and when I first started this, I always challenge myself not to use florals because I feel like I use flowers all the time. And that's okay. But I just always say to myself, okay, try not to use flowers. And then, yeah, you see what happens. It doesn't happen. I use the flowers. And that's okay. I did a lot of fussy cutting and I got lots of the reds, the pinks, and that really pretty light teal color. And I'm going to use this picture. I know my lights are really bright, but it's actually a color photo, and she's in her swing and she's got on a pink shirt and it matches the pink in the flowers. And so the background looks really dark, but it's kind of like a dark green because she's swinging in front of a bunch of bushes. So then I liked the way it looked on this paper, and it's black and white gingham or check, I guess you could say. And I thought, I'm going to try something different here. I saw a layout that Paige Evans did recently with a black background, and I fell in love with it, with all the bright colors contrasting against the dark background. And I saw this paper in our kits, and I thought, oh my gosh, I want to try that. I haven't done that in a long time. And I love how those bright colors just pop off that black background. And I like how the picture pops off as well. So I just smudged some white gesso down, and I'm going to do some gelato work, and then I'm going to come in with the Vicky Bouton watercolors that we got in the color kit. And I'm just smudging down some color that matches all these flowers. And I'm not adding any water or anything here. I'm just scribbling down the gelato and then smudging it with my hand. And I just, I said this a lot, but I want the color smudges from the background to just sort of peek around the photo and come out from behind the flowers, just to give an illusion of something messy going on in the background, and just to give it some color and to create some separation from all the black in the background. And so here's where I'm going to come in with the watercolors, and this was part of the color kit. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water using my water brush and the packaging technique, and just smudge some more colors around. And it's basically, I'm using the same colors that I've already got down there, but this just gives it, a bit of a different shade of the gelato, darkens it up or lightens it up, and just adds a little bit of a color variation. And plus it's fun to mix and match the different products. And I didn't want to add too much water, even though I've got the gesso down. This is still just a basic piece of pattern paper, and if you add too much water to it, it's going to warp, and it's likely to want to rip the paper. And so I wanted to keep the water to a minimum here, which I did, and the gesso helps quite a bit. And I've already forgotten who makes the background paper. Let me check. I think it's Dear Lizzie. Nope, it's Amy Tangerine. The black and white paper is Amy Tangerine on a whim. But yeah, sometimes I just, I get on a kick where I want to use white as my background every single layout. And then lately I've been on a kick where I want to try to use something different. And so this is something different. And I love how it turned out. I think it really contrasts nicely with all of these bright colors. And you can't go wrong with flowers. Just fussy cutting flowers and layering them like this, especially when they're these beautiful colors. And I love how this is looking. So always is going to be a big part of my title. But I want to arrange everything just so it's just like I like it, to where I have enough room to fit always on the right. I'm going to situate the photo kind of over to the left side, so I have room to put that word because it's pretty big. And so once I put everything down, I can kind of see if I need to add more to the background. And then I'm going to sort of glue things down here just to keep them in place while I see what I've got going. And I like how in my picture I've got some space over to the right. I try to think about these things when I take pictures, and you know, if you're a scrapbooker, then you know you're going to scrapbook these pictures that you're taking. And so I try to think, let me, not put her in the exact center of the picture. And I don't do that all the time, but when I am actively thinking about it, I try to, so if you see the picture, she's over to the left and I've got some space over to the right. And so that's the perfect spot to overlap an embellishment. Or in this case, it's going to be the little flower or the A in always. And so I'm not covering up any part of her, because that just, it bugs me. That's I don't want to cover up anything important on a photo with an embellishment that's going to take away from the picture. And see how her arm is at an angle and the A is at an angle? Now that kind of stuff I don't even plan. It just kind of happens sometimes, but it fits perfectly right there in that spot. I'm not covering up anything that's going to take away from the picture. So I thought that I wanted to add some white splatters, and I'm just going to water down some white acrylic paint and, flip my paintbrush to get some splatters. I don't have any white mist or sprays that don't dry kind of clear. And so I just water down some white paint and use my brush to splatter to get white. And you could actually do that with any acrylic paints and it would work great, because they're so thick. They're not going to just seep right into your paper. So I'm going to add some thread. I added some light blue over to the right, or the left, and then some pink over to the right. And I'm going to stick the L kind of underneath it just to give it a little bit of depth and dimension. And now I'm going to start to play around with some of the other embellishments. I found some more flowers in the Chamel die cuts or ephemera pack. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to put those over here on top of the Y and the S as a third cluster. And then I'm just going to start to go through everything. That is the crepe paper chipboard sheet. And I pulled off a little piece from there. And then this is the Chamel sticker book. I'm going to use a few things from in there. And I'm also going to use a few gold, well, they're white, but they've got gold on them, little flowers from the exclusive die cut pack. And that puffy sticker that's also exclusive. Kim Watson designed those. And I'm going to use that little row of hearts that I just put underneath always. And then I'm going to look through the Dear Lizzie puffy stickers. And then this is also Dear Lizzie. They're like brads, but they're sticky. I guess they're a cross between brads and buttons, but I think about using this little banner piece for now, but I do wind up changing that. And that is an exclusive wood veneer. I'm going to use that little tab up at the top. So I don't want that photo to move, so I'm going to glue that down and start to glue down all the little bits and pieces that I know I want to use. So I've got everything glued down up to this point, and here's the little flowers I was talking about. Those are the exclusive die cuts, and they're white, but they've got gold embossing on them, and so I've got one of those in each cluster. And then I'm going to use that Think Happy or Be Happy, the little black banner piece, and then this is a little camera sticker from the Chamel sticker book. I'm just going to tuck that in. It matched perfectly. And then I'm going to use Today, and that is one of the really thin laser cut exclusive wood veneer. You have to be really careful with those because they're really thin and they can break really easily if you're too rough with those. Now these are just some random little things I decided to add in. On the crepe paper sticker, chipboard stickers, they're these little plus signs. They're black and white. And I just decided to kind of use them in random spots. I think there were 5 or 6 of them, and they were just black and white, and I thought my background's black and white, so I'm just going to add those in just for some little random things. I tuck a few into the flowers, and then a couple to the right, or 1 to the right of the photo and 2 underneath it. And then I'm going to add a couple of these buttons because they match so perfectly, and they give great pops of yellow. And then a couple of those sticky brad slash buttons from Dear Lizzie, and they stick really well. And a couple of teeny tiny heart puffy stickers. I love how all this stuff coordinates. It's so nice. You'd think that it all came from the same collection, the way it just looks so good together. I'm going to come back in with a little bit more of the watercolor just here and there now that everything's glued down, and I can see where I might need other colors peeking out from certain areas. And I love how this turned out. I really love that floral Chamel paper. It just begging to be fussy cut. Those flowers are so pretty. And I love the black background. I think this would look totally different on white. I almost thought about using white, and I think it would still look pretty. But yeah, I like the black background. So I decided to print my journaling on my computer. Since I didn't want to write with a black pen on top of black paper, it would just kind of blend in and look extra dark down there. So I just broke my journaling up into strips, and you can still see the background, but also the journaling kind of stands out. And I did add the date, but I didn't do any machine stitching on this. I didn't think it needed it. So there's the final layout. I love the bold look of all those colors, and I love how it turned out. I'm excited about it. So let me know if you have any questions about any of the kits or any of the things that I did today. I would be more than happy to answer you guys. Make sure you check out hipkitclub.net. Get your kits ordered if you haven't already. Yeah, the June kits should be revealed soon. It's already almost the 15th. My goodness. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you in the next video.